But tonight there is a figurative fire burning, and the man around whom it is burning, whose campaign may have set it, has finally tried to put it out. The question is, can he or anyone tamp down the flames at this point? We have just completed a week in which the following epithets were heard at American political rallies: terrorist, treason, off with his head, kill him. Ugly, divisive, dangerous words directed at a man who, for the time being, stands as the front-running candidate for the highest office in the land. Words that appear to be the byproduct, wittingly or unwittingly, of a new strategy being employed against him. A strategy aimed not just at defeating Barack Obama, but at defining him as an enemy of the country and alien to the country, a danger. And tonight we add a new incident to the list, an incident that caused John McCain to say, finally, enough. It happened just hours ago at a McCain rally in Minnesota.
Hey, I got to ask you a question. I do not I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you. Thank you.
The anger and fear and violent inclinations toward Barack Obama being expressed at McCain-Palin rallies now seems to be spilling over into local political races as well. The Associated Press reporting that during a debate in Georgia last night between Republican Senator Saxby Chambliss and his Democratic challenger Jim Martin, Chambliss supporters in the crowd offered up sustained booing every time Senator Obama's name was mentioned. One woman then yelled, quote, "Bomb Obama." Bomb Obama. You mean like in Jacksonville, Florida, on Christmas night in 1964, when Harry Moore, the executive secretary of the NAACP, and his wife were murdered by a bomb set off underneath their bed? You mean like on 16th Street in Birmingham, Alabama, in September 1963, when that firebomb at that church killed those 4 little girls? You mean like October 12th, 1958, when 50 sticks of dynamite blew off the north side of the temple on Peachtree Street, the oldest Jewish congregation in Atlanta? Or do you mean the word bomb figuratively? Maybe you're talking about the rioting that killed 2 people after James Meredith attempted to integrate Old Miss in 1962 under the protection of federal troops and the U.S. Marshals. What do you mean, really, when you say bomb Obama in America with our history? Campaigning in Ohio today, Senator Obama addressed the growing anger directed at him from the other side.
Nothing's easier than riling up a crowd by stoking anger and division. But that's not what we need right now in the United States. The times are too serious. The challenges are too great. The American people aren't looking for someone who can divide this country. They're looking for somebody who will lead this country.
Anger and division may not be what we need right now, but they are certainly what we have right now. The ugly campaign rhetoric led to a scathing editorial today in the Baltimore Sun by Republican author Frank Schaeffer, who writes that he worked to get Senator McCain elected in 2000. Schaeffer writes, quote, "John McCain, if your campaign does not stop equating Senator Barack Obama with terrorism, questioning his patriotism, and portraying Mr. Obama as not one of us, I accuse you of deliberately feeding the most unhinged elements of our society the red meat of hate, and therefore of potentially instigating violence. You are doing this in wartime. You are doing this as our economy collapses. You are doing this in a country with a history of assassinations." Asked about the increasing vitriol being spewed at their rallies, McCain campaign senior advisor Nicole Wallace offered no regrets, instead training her rhetorical fire back on Obama, saying, quote, "Barack Obama's assault on our supporters is insulting and unsurprising. These are the same people Obama called bitter and attacked for clinging to guns and faith. Attacking our supporters is a new low for the campaign that's run more millions of dollars of negative ads than any other in history." Hours later, the candidate himself modulated the message a bit for the first time, urging his supporters to tone it down, to their audible disappointment.
We want to fight, and I will fight, but we will be respectful. I admire Senator Obama and his accomplishments. I will respect him, and I want everyone to be respectful, and let's make sure we are. I want to be President of the United States, and obviously I do not want Senator Obama to be. But I have to tell you, he is a decent person and a person that you do not have to be scared as President of the United States. Now, now look, if I didn't think I wouldn't be one heck of a lot better president, I wouldn't be running, okay? And that's the point. That's the point.
Just an incredible piece of tape from today. So John McCain did take that stand today. Does he acknowledge that how his campaign is being run is stoking what he is now standing against? Will his supporters listen? The increasing anger and venom among McCain-Palin supporters now generating concern among Republicans as well, including former McCain top strategist John Weaver and 7-term Illinois Republican Congressman Ray LaHood, who criticized Governor Palin during a radio interview today for inciting this type of anger.
Look, this doesn't befit the office that she's running for, and frankly, people don't like it.
The historical implications of all of this with presidential historian Doris Kearns-Goodwin just a little later on. But first, joining us now from Minnesota is Time Magazine contributor and Radar Magazine's Washington editor, Anna Marie Cox. She has been traveling with the McCain campaign. Anna Marie, thanks very much for joining us tonight.
It's good to be here.
I know you have been talking to McCain aides. What are they telling you about these outbursts among their crowds?
Well, you know, it's really interesting. Until pretty late this afternoon, senior McCain aides were unwilling to really engage on this issue. And when you went to them, or specifically I went to them and said, don't you have some kind of responsibility to distance yourself from these people? I'm willing to buy their argument that they have no control over this crowd, okay? I mean, we can disagree about that, but if that's the argument they want to make, okay, fine. Say you don't have control over this crowd, but can't you tell them and make clear to them that this kind of behavior is unacceptable? And aides would just sort of turn that question around and say, well, why aren't you asking this question of Obama? And I'm like, well, I'm not on the Obama plane, so I'm asking you. So that was happening up until 5 o'clock today, let's say. And then Mr. McCain, or Senator McCain, was at that rally, and you could feel the kind of energy that had been developing in other rallies in Albuquerque and in Wisconsin. And it tripped a switch. It was like going back in time to 2007 in New Hampshire, when I used to watch McCain get very sort of aggressive questions about immigration, and he would bat them down. He would tell the racists who asked about, you know, our open borders and how the secret NAFTA highway, that we're all God's children and that we had to respect one another. That McCain came back today. It was good to see him.
Did you get any sense from the campaign that there is a split between McCain himself and his campaign? Is there any recognition that some of their tactics recently, some of their rhetoric recently, may be what is stoking these reactions they're getting from the crowd?
I think that there is some self-awareness among some of the senior staff, and I think that it is difficult to generate energy for a Republican candidate in this environment. And I think it's probably was a sort of a genuine, is there such a thing as genuine wishful thinking? to say that I think that the hope was that this energy was a byproduct of excitement, you know, was a byproduct of excitement about McCain. And then I think today it became clear that some of that energy was not a byproduct of excitement about McCain at all. It was a byproduct of let's say it, I mean, hate and fear. And I think to sort of turn around and have to acknowledge that is a very sobering prospect for McCain. But I think that is something that at least he himself recognized today.
I guess looking forward to find out how big a development this was today, when McCain essentially turned the tables totally on this crowd reaction. I guess what we need to know is whether they think this specifically has derived from them going with the William Ayers line and using the word terrorist. They've got ads out now. The RNC has ads out now. The McCain campaign itself has ads out now. Sarah Palin is still driving down that road very fast. Are they attributing it to that line of attack specifically, and will they stop that line of attack?
I think the answer is no and no. I think that they at least the people that I talk to, really feel that the Ayers thing is for them a legitimate issue, and it's about, they say, again, I'm just sort of translating, that it's not about the terrorism so much as about Obama being open about what his past ties have been. I think that going forward, Well, this is my concern. I think this hate and fear that comes out of the crowd isn't necessarily something that the McCain people have consciously tried to put out there, but rather that's all McCain has left. You know, the wingnuts are the only people that left to come to these rallies. In fact, actually, some colleagues of mine and I, we went out into the crowd after this rally today, and I can tell you, after covering McCain for a year and a half, usually you would get, there's some crazy people. There's always crazy people at rallies. That's what they do, right? They go to rallies. But you would only find a few of them. And today, every single person that I talked to, and a majority of the people that my friends and colleagues in the press talked to, were of the belief that, you know, Barack Obama is a Muslim, Barack Obama is not American. It was kind of crazy. And now, you know, McCain has lost the pitchfork waivers now. I don't know who has left.
Anna Marie Cox, Radar Washington editor and Time Magazine contributor, thank you for your time tonight. It's great to hear from somebody who's been there. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Whether or not Senator McCain can calm down his crowds, the trend toward venomous hate on the campaign trail is frightening when you consider American history.